Everyone sees the height, the glass, the glory, but no one sees the pain buried beneath. Burj Khalifa is not just an architectural wonder. It's a monument of silent sacrifices, of hands that bled in the shadows, building someone else's dream. Thousands of workers left behind families, dreams, and even their names, becoming invisible in the world's tallest achievement. When the lights shine on the tower, they cast long shadows, shadows of those who were never mentioned. This isn't just a building, it's a living story. A story of ambition, but also of struggle. A symbol of progress that stands on the shoulders of the forgotten. If you only see what touches the sky, you'll never understand what was buried to lift it there. Before the first brick was ever laid, there was a vision, a man who dreamed of defying gravity and time. Mohammed Alibar, the mastermind behind Amar, was told repeatedly it couldn't be done. Not in Dubai, not in this desert. But vision is louder than doubt, and he wasn't building just a tower. He was carving Dubai's name into history. He faced global skepticism, engineering limitations, and financial risks that could have brought everything down. But he stood firm, chasing an idea that seemed bigger than life itself. Burj Khalifa became more than a structure. It became a challenge to the impossible. The world watched, and the desert rose. They came from miles away, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, with empty pockets and heavy hopes. These men worked 12 to 16 hours a day under a sun that didn't forgive. Their hands blistered, their backs broken, their names forgotten. Some lived in cramped labor camps, sleeping 10 to a room, dreaming of money to send home. Many never saw the final tower. They left before the ribbon was ever cut. No media celebrated them. No plaque holds their names. But without them, the Burj would still be a blueprint. These are the silent builders of the tallest story ever told. Dubai's heat isn't just hot. It melts steel, warps glass, and pushes limits. Engineers had to fight temperatures rising above 50 degrees Celsius while pouring concrete at night to avoid cracks. Wind pressure at 160 floors can twist steel like paper, so they had to design a spiral shape to trick the air. Even gravity had to be negotiated. What stood against nature's fury wasn't just engineering, it was raw determination. Every floor added was a fight, not against time, but against the earth itself. Nature didn't want this tower to exist, but humans insisted otherwise. During construction, accidents happened. Some were covered, some were buried, literally and metaphorically. Men died, lives ended mid-shift, their bodies shipped back home, with no headlines, no justice. For every meter of height, there's a tear that was never seen. Whispers say some parts of the foundation still hold more than just steel. They hold memory, pain, and silence. In a world that claps for height, no one pauses to bow their head for those who fell building it. It is the cost no tourist ever sees. Before a single floor was raised, they had to go deep, deeper than any building in Dubai had ever gone. The foundation of Burj Khalifa extends over 50 meters underground, anchoring the impossible into sand. Beneath the glamour lies a web of reinforced steel and special concrete, designed to survive not just time, but nature's fury. The soil wasn't ready for a giant, so they had to inject it with strength, with science, with secrets. Engineers feared one mistake could sink everything. Down there, beneath the glass and glory, is a world no one visits. A silent fortress that holds the weight of dreams. At 828 meters, the wind doesn't just blow, it roars, it haunts. The higher you go, the more it becomes a living force. Architects had to reshape their dreams to curve with the wind, not against it. They gave Burj Khalifa its iconic spiral, so that the gusts would slip past like whispers, not strikes. Without that change, nature would have torn it apart. Each twist of the design was a conversation with the air, and every answer had to be perfect, because at this height, the sky isn't your friend, it's your final test. Burj Khalifa has over 160 official floors, but not every level is accessible, and not every number exists. Some floors are missing, skipped on purpose. The reasons are mysterious. Some say for superstition. Some say for security. Others claim it's architectural illusion. But whispers among the staff talk about locked maintenance zones, places where even cameras are forbidden. They call it the ghost floor. No visitors, no cleaners, no explanation. Just silence behind a metal door and a badge scanner that only works for a few. The tallest tower hides rooms that may never be seen. Above the luxury hotels and tourist decks, there's a floor not listed in brochures. It's not for rent. It's not for sale. It's invitation only. A private suite said to be reserved for royalty, sheiks, or global elites. Surrounded by 360 degrees bulletproof glass, the suite has no social media pictures, no confirmed interior shots. Some say it's used for secret meetings, others say for watching the world in absolute silence. In a tower that touches space, there's a place that touches power, but only a few ever step inside. Burj Khalifa sleeps differently than the city it towers over. After midnight, most of its floors fall silent. No footsteps, no elevators, no echoes. The glass doesn't let sound in, and the air is thinner up high. Security guards say it's a strange kind of silence, not empty, but almost watching. Some report hearing hums, creaks, even soft whispers, like the building breathes after dark. Is it the wind, the structure settling, or memories that refuse to leave? Even giants, it seems, have their ghosts. January 4th, 2010. The day Burj Khalifa was finally unveiled. The world watched live as Dubai lit up in fireworks, laser shows, and pride. But behind the smiles, workers stood in the crowd, some exhausted, some unpaid, some undocumented. They weren't invited to the stage, though they built it with bare hands. One worker later said, "We watched from a distance like watching someone else marry the bride we raised." That day, time froze for millions watching history. But for some, it was a silent goodbye to years of sacrifice. Burj Khalifa cost over $1.5 billion, and at one point, the project nearly collapsed. The 2008 global financial crisis hit just as Dubai neared completion. Money dried up. Banks pulled back. Salaries were delayed. Construction halted. Fear spread through workers and investors alike. But then, in a surprising twist, Abu Dhabi stepped in, quietly paying the debt and rescuing the tower. That's why it was renamed from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa, in honor of Sheikh Khalifa. The tower almost died until loyalty brought it back to life. Before anyone moved in, scientists needed to know, can the tower survive a lightning strike? Burj Khalifa is so tall, it gets struck dozens of times a year. So they rigged it with sensors, built special lightning rods, and even simulated thunderclouds in labs. When lightning hit during the first real test, it didn't just strike, it danced across the spire. People on the 140th floor said they felt a vibration through the walls and then silence. No fire, no damage, just the sky, acknowledging the tower with its touch. Living inside Burj Khalifa is a dream very few can afford, but those who do say it's like floating. The higher you go, the more surreal it gets. You wake up above clouds. Sunsets happen below your window. Some even report feeling disconnected from the city, like they've left Earth itself. But with beauty comes isolation. Groceries arrive by private lift. There's no open windows, no sound of traffic, no smell of rain. It's peaceful, but also lonely. Heaven, perhaps, but far from the world below. Not every story is about glass and steel. One security guard, known only as Sajid, worked the elevators for 9 years. He memorized the habits of residents, learned their birthdays, and once saved a child stuck in the lift. But one day he vanished. No farewell, no goodbye, just gone. Rumors say he got deported. Others say he had a breakdown. But to the few who noticed, Burj Khalifa hasn't felt the same since. Even giants remember the smallest hands that held them. Most people never think about who cleans the glass that touches the clouds. Burj Khalifa has over 24,000 windows, and it takes months to clean them all. Workers dangle from tiny cradles, 2,000 feet above the ground, held only by ropes and courage. There's no second chance up there. They battle wind gusts, heat waves, and loneliness. Some say they talk to the sky to calm their nerves. Every clean panel is a prayer, a silent battle between fear and duty. You see the shine, but never the shaking hands behind it. On the 154th floor, there's a small prayer room. Simple, quiet, sacred. It's where some workers, guards, and even high-level guests have paused to pray, cry, or just sit in silence, surrounded by glass. The view is surreal. The earth curves at the edges, and the sky feels close enough to touch. One worker said, "It felt like God was closer here." In a tower built by ambition, there's still space for surrender. A reminder that even in the sky, the soul still kneels. Burj Khalifa has stood for over a decade, watching wars, peace celebrations, and silence. It has seen a pandemic shut down its elevators, seen weddings on its rooftop, and tears in its lobbies. From above, everything is small: cars, problems, people. The tower doesn't speak, but if it did, it could tell you what Dubai was and what it became. It watches without blinking. It remembers without judgment. And every night it reflects the stars, because even the tallest things look up sometimes. Burj Khalifa is a modern wonder, but its legacy is complex. It symbolizes progress and pain, glory and loss. For tourists, it's a photo. For workers, it was a battlefield. For Dubai, a statement. Its story isn't just about height, but about depth of effort, sacrifice, dreams, and forgotten names. It is both a triumph and a tomb, and like all great creations, it forces us to ask, what are we willing to trade for greatness? They said it couldn't be done, and then they did it. Burj Khalifa didn't just change a skyline, it changed belief. It proved that the impossible can be touched if you're willing to pay the price. It carries stories in steel, memory in glass, and truth in silence. This isn't just a tower. It's a question, standing tall in the desert. Look up and ask yourself what you're building. And if these stories moved you, if they made you feel something real, then please support us. Please subscribe to the channel. This is BillionX, where truth meets wonder.